Hi Mayank, how are you?
Hi Rakesh, I'm fine. What about you?
Yeah, I'm good too. Thank you. Can you tell us something about yourself?
Hi, my name is Giriram Kumar. I am currently working in TCS. I have completed my college from year 2021 in background of information technology. I am working in TCS for past 10 months in language of Python. I am working as data manipulation operator for past 10 months, and I have also done 6 month internship in TCS. Then, apart from the work culture, I also take part in some of the hackathons. Also take part in some of the competitions like DSA and that all. And I'm keen to learn some new languages and something new. So that's what my introduction is, sir.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you for introducing yourself. So recently I came to know that you have cleared various rounds in one of the company. So would you like to share your interview experience, your success story with us?
Yeah, sure, sir. Let me start by sharing my screen. So
Yeah,
I
yeah, sure. Yeah, so I have given you the rights. Now you would be able to share.
okay, I will share whole screen.
Mhm.
Better. So this was my initial means I have written the flow of phase one like that. So
Okay,
how
great.
was the interview going on? So as soon as I joined, they were panel of two persons, and both were approximately having experience of more than 6 years in the field which in automation. To be accurate. They started with asking about my introduction. Then I gave what was my introduction, whatever was uh, I am doing and what is written in my resume, right? And then they asked me about my current work, means what I'm doing. They asked some of the questions about that, like if you are doing this, if have you faced any problems, or if you have faced any problems, then how you tackled them, that all like that. And then came the part of SQL because in my resume it is written like I'm working with Python in SQL because I am working on SQL database. So they started like asking me SQL questions. So here in right screen we can see that they asked me like, okay, you have some table named as student. Take any of the six columns. So I wrote like student ID, student name, student class, and that all till I done. And they asked me a SQL query. Like first they asked me just write a query to extract first three entries from a table, like these three: student ID, name, and class. So initially I wrote student ID and the class from student. Then they asked me, okay, if you have any condition like student starting name with should be from S. So where I give the condition also. And then they asked me about this wildcard operator in SQL. So I gave answer to that too.
Okay, the
Then they
wildcard
asked,
filter thing. Okay, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and they asked me why I use like not equal to a like that. So I told because we are not getting an exact string, we want to match the similar string which are starting with S. So I gave like statement here. Then they came, okay, that's fine. Then they came back to again SQL questions. They asked me what is the difference between alter and update in SQL. So I gave the answer to that too, and they asked me to write a SQL command to update a single column in a class. Like if the student was in class 11, just update it to class 12. So in right side at row number 11, 7, we can see I have written that query too. Throughout the interview, they asked me to keep my notepad open and also my camera so that they can see what is my way of thinking and what I'm doing. Then after going with some SQL questions, they moved on to Python basics because, as I told, I am working in Python and SQL. So they asked me some basic concept of Python. So first they asked me what is the OOPS concept. I told them what is the OOPS concept. They asked me four basic pillars of them. I told abstraction, encapsulation, polymorphism, inheritance, everything I told. Then they told, okay, then fine. They asked me to create a list of 1 to 10. So this was one of the best, trickiest question any freshers like me can get. If we just write list equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and like that, it will
Right,
be
right.
like, okay, you will be getting that answer and you will know that. So I was familiar with list comprehension and range part. So I wrote this below line list for I in that part. So from after writing this line itself, I can see the smile or the what they were expecting. I wrote that answer. So I from that itself I can see, yeah, they were expecting this answer and I gave that. Then after seeing this, they told, okay, that's fine. Now do one thing, create a list from 2, 3, 4, 5. They give me list itself. Like this is the list. Now from your list, means the list which I created, you want to extract this part. So I did, as I was familiar with Python most of the stuff, so I created the step function and did it. Then they were told, okay, fine. Then they asked me, what are the, so this is at 11th we have list strips in Python. So I did it. Then they asked me how to copy a list in Python. So I gave them both examples. So they told, okay, that's fine. Then they asked me the difference between these two also. I explained them that too. After that, they asked me, okay, so tell me the difference between split and join. So for this, I just took one string. Hello, my name is Maya. So initially, I did split, so I removed all terms. And after that, in same string, I did join function, so it came back to original string. So they told, okay, that's fine. Then after doing some of this is all technical questions for a developer type. So then they came back to the testing part. So before testing, they asked me a DSA question like what is so this is the question. They gave me a string A, B, B, triple, three times B, four times C, and one time S. And they give me the output should be A equal to 2, B equal to 3, C equal to 4, and S equal to 1. So I give them a two solution. Like one is from collectors in Python collections. We can directly use collector keyword and it will give the answer. They told, okay, yeah, that's fine. Now give us the basic logic, how you will go. So I thought for a 5 to 10 seconds. Then I told, sir, for this, I have a best optimized solution which we can have in Python. So I used dictionary for that. And wrote the exam, means code thoroughly. After writing, they asked me to explain each step one by one. I explained them why I use dictionary, what is the dictionary.keys, and why it was used. Then they told, okay, that's fine. Then they asked me, okay, this is on the dictionary can be only used in Python. What about Java or C++ if you are asked? So I told I'm not too familiar with hands-on exercise with Java or C++, but I know the concept. So they told, okay, just tell me the algorithm. So I explained them the algorithm for int and like that. And in initial also I gave them with how I will proceed with it. After knowing this question, they told, okay, fine. Now let's move on to testing questions. So the first question they asked me, like test cases for pen. So for test cases of pen, I gave 10 to 15 test cases for them. And now after 10 to 15 test cases, they asked me, can you segregate the positive one and negative one? So I did that part too. And then they asked me, like, out of 15, there are only 4 failed cases and remaining were positive. So they told, why is the reason you give more positive test cases than failed cases? So I told, initially we need to check the whatever the requirement is there is fully filled. So I went through each of their steps. That's the reason I got 11 steps. And after getting 11 steps, I started doing negative test case also. So that's why at 15th you asked me to stop. That's the reason I have 4 failed cases. They told, okay, fine. Then they asked me SDLC life cycle. And after telling SDLC life cycle, I guess I have written that too. Because everything was asked us to write in this thing. So whatever I was writing, they were asking me to write in Notepad. So I just started writing them. After learning, I was not knowing this part, maintenance part. So I just to get them right, I wrote building, comma development. I made that in a 2 part. So they told, okay, 6 point. Then I don't know. After some time, they came back to this question and they asked me what is difference between building and development. But it was only one, but I separated for my concern. Then I told something like, I know there is only both are same, but there is little bit different. But I was not getting the 6 points, so I separated it. They told, yeah, that's the good way to approach the question, but still the last part is maintenance. I told, okay, then fine. So I
Okay.
wrote it in.
Mhm.
Then they asked me what are the phases of bug, means life cycle of bug. So I gave them new assigned, then it will be resolved, then it will come to tester again, and that all. I gave whole cycle. Then they asked me after rejection, which state it will go. So I told it will go to again the first initial phase. So they told what is the name given to it. So I told when it's coming new, we are giving it as a new, and it will go as open, but it's already open there, so it will be a reopen. So yeah, that was the answer which we were expecting. So I gave that answer too. Then they asked me, this is the question which I've seen every QA testing they will ask: severity and priority. What is the difference between this? And explain them.
Right.
After that, they asked me example of two of the cases, like high severity, high priority, and low severity, low priority. I did both. I gave answer to that too. Then after learning, then they started asking like, uh, what if the developer don't agree with our test cases? We go back to them and setting. So I give that answer to like, I will show them the my test cases of previous day and now, and I will show that this is what we are expecting, and we are not getting this answer. That all. So they told even after that they are not ready to agree. So I told I will go to my senior tester and I will explain them and try to be in a systematic way. I will try to resolve in a systematic way rather than going direct to a developer and having one-to-one chat if he is not ready to listen. They told okay, fine. Then uh, to be accurate, I will be frank to you. I
Hmm.
have never done testing course anything. So
Okay.
when I
Right.
got this call, I started learning testing and Selenium to be accurate.
Oh.
So as you can see in my resume, also there won't be any testing part mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
So they asked me about the Selenium questions, like how many locators, tell all locators and that all. So I gave them the answers, ID, class, that all, everything was given. XPath, then XPath, partial XPath, that all. Then they asked me to open my ID. This is the best part which I saw in any interview. They asked me to open a ID, means and asked me to write a program from Selenium to access any website. So they gave me a website of YouTube. So if I open that website, I guess this
Mm-hmm.
was the chat.
Okay. So this was the code you had written in the interview.
Yeah, means initially I wrote this much only
Hmm.
driver.get and that one and maximize window. They asked me to maximize it, so I did that part.
Okay. Great. Great.
Okay, and yeah, and then they asked me like after writing this code, they told okay, go by search element as you told locators are there. So search element by XPath in search query. So as I opened YouTube, I opened the XPath and copied the search query. Then they asked me a name, like write a name of anything. Don't write full name. So I just wrote like for you, I have written RT auto, and they
Mm-hmm.
told okay, keep it for 2 seconds, and after 2 seconds, you are supposed to remove this O from this line
Mm-hmm.
in search. So I did some of the hands-on in Selenium as I got the interview. So I knew there were some keywords like backspace, or if you want something like
Mm-hmm.
control A or like it to select all. So I did that backspace. They told okay, now add another word to that. So here I was a bit confused. Like again, I need to go with XPath or I need to just send keys.
Okay.
So I told them like I'm a bit confused, like whether again I need to go by XPath or just send keys. So they told me, no, you already have XPath, no need to go there. Just go. Means they will help you if you ask them what is there. So they told me that, and then they are told, okay, that's fine. Now click on it. So then they asked me to run my code. If I do that, so it will open as a new YouTube. Then it will maximize it. It will search RD auto. Then it will remove O and add automation. It will
Okay.
come as that part.
Okay. Good.
So then they asked why it is not closing. So I told I have not used close path or close or quit. So they told yeah. So why you have not used? I told sir, as per your requirement, I have done everything. You did not ask me to close it. That was out of the requirement. If you had asked me to close it also, I would have done it.
Mm-hmm.
So I found that one thing, whatever they ask, don't do something extra. If they have asked that to do this much, do that. Don't
Mm.
go with ourselves like going to close it. Then they will ask that question too.
Correct. Correct.
So this is the one point which I came to know. Then they asked me, open your Chrome. So I opened my Chrome. In that there were many of the extensions added and like that. So they told what is the difference between this Selenium Chrome and your Chrome. So I gave them that the answer to. Like my Chrome has it is my user predefined, means everything is stored in that and cookies are there. But Selenium will always open from zero, means it will open its own Chrome driver, and every time it will extract its all cookies and that all. So
Right.
they told, okay, then fine. Then they told, after doing that, they told me, okay, okay, go back to top of your code. So I was like, okay, they are going back to this code. So here they came and they asked me what is time complexity for your this Python code I wrote.
Mm.
So I told I am looping only one time and dictionary always take O of one. So it's the time complexity of O of n. Means how many elements will be there, it will take that much time. They told, okay, fine. What about the below, the Java code which you explained? So in that I have explained for and inside for one more for was there. So I told n into n square will be there. That's the reason I always at starting time itself I told I am writing the optimized solution which I know. They told, okay, fine. Then after knowing this, they asked me like, you are totally in developing path. You have not done anything automation. Then why you are planning to shift to automation? So I told I am totally fine with both of them because I started learning Selenium. In the Selenium also we are getting coding stuff and that all. And after doing Selenium also, I came to know that yeah, this is also something which fascinates me, and I can continue with this. So that's not a big deal about the developer and tester, because every developer is also tester and tester can also become a developer. That's not a big deal. So
Right.
they were like, okay, that's the something out of the box answer which we ever heard. I told, yeah, thank you for that. And after giving that, then they told, okay, let's go with something logical. So they told me, you have two jars. One is having 2 liters, another is having 5 liters. And they asked me first simple question, you make to make 3 liters. So I did, I will fill 5 liters and move that to two and remove the two. I will be having 3 liters. That is okay. Now the tricky question came. You want to make six, but you cannot use. You have only two jars. So I told, okay, give me some time. For I paused for 10 seconds maybe, and then I came back to the solution. Like I did same with three, and again I moved the three. I wrote by step what I will do, so they can know. 2 liters out, then in 5 liters there is 3 liter now, in 2 liters there is zero. So I moved there from five, I moved two. So there is 1 liter here and 2 liter here. I removed that two. So in 5 liter I have 1 liter now. In 2 liters I will be having zero. So I will just move this 1 liter to 2 liters part. So 5, 0 and 2, and I will fill this. So 5 plus 1, it will be 6.
Mhm.
So they told, okay, nice. You've done that. Then after that logical question, they asked me why only our company. So I have done research about that company. I knew something like what were their environment and which location, which project they were working on, and like that. So I give them all that answers and that all. At last, they asked me, what are your expectations from us? So I told like giving me opportunities to face new challenges every day, to brainstorm something new, and that all. So they told, okay, fine. Then this whole interview took approximately, I would say, 1 hours and 15 minutes to be
Okay.
accurate.
Okay.
So after that, they told, okay, that's fine. There were two us, and I told, they told, okay, fine, we'll get back to you. We'll have word with our lead and we'll get back to you.
Mhm.
So after that, I told, okay, thanks for that, and I dropped off. And that time itself, I guess I sent you a mail for that. So
Mhm.
after that, I got a call for higher second round
Okay.
from same company, but their lead for next after 7 days to be accurate.
Mhm.
So I got call from, but that was not too much technical because all technical stuff was asked there. So he was mainly concentrated about what I will do, and am I flexible to switch to another work too. Like throughout, I have done only Selenium. So he was like, "Are you ready to switch to PyTest or TestNG and that all? Like, are you ready to move to Java too, not only Python from Java too?" So I told, "Yeah, I am totally fine with that because I also done some projects in internship in Java, so I'm fine with that. That all." So after that interview was approximately, we can say, management and somewhat technical questions and HR type. Not it was not like too depth. He was mainly focusing about testing questions,
Okay.
like how I will approach to any situation I get and that all. So that was also done, completed. Then that interview was approximately 40-45 minutes, not more than that. It was not means he also asked some of the life cycles and that all. So I gave all the answers of that, and he was like, "Okay, I will come back to you after that." So uh, to be accurate, I will to be frank, I'll say I was not very sure that he will be selecting because he did not ask any of the questions which I was strong. He always asked me about something like, "Are you ready to? Do you have any hands-on practice on mobile testing or web development, web testing like that?" But I had never any hands-on experience ever. So after that interview, I was like, "Okay, this is the end of me for this company. Let's wait for new opportunity." But yeah, I was totally in that phase. Means it's over for me. I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
But after 5 or 2, no, after 8 days to be accurate, eight, not eight. Yeah, somewhat like that. They will be. I got another mail like, "Congratulations, you are cleared. We are willing to have your third interview." So I gave that third interview also, and in third interview, all three were there. Means the first interview, two panelists, this person, and there one more lead was there. So 4% to be accurate. And they asked me to show my. Since this is the first interview, they asked me to show my government ID proofs and my some 11th 12th records and like that. Starting phase they did, and again they started with same technical questions, but this time they were of bit higher level. Means they were like in develop. My whole resume is about development only. So they asked me something in depth of dictionary, Python, like why collections is better, and which language you prefer, Java or Python, and how much you will rate yourself in Python. So I told I have good grip in Python, so I will give myself 6 to 7, not more than that, because even if I am I have good knowledge of Python, I don't have any much experience. Without experience, I cannot go above 7 too.
Mm-hmm.
Then they give me like we have 4 types of project in our. They told me like these 4 projects. Are you ready to work? Like one was with Java with Selenium, second was Python with Selenium, third was PyTest, and fourth manual testing. So they told, are you flexible with that too? Because we don't know which part you will get. You will get even manual testing. I told I'm totally fine with that too, sir. Because even in that I will be getting a chance to brainstorm myself, and that is the key point which I'm looking for there. Then they asked something about my salary part, which is always there part. Then what are my expectations? Then after going through, they told, okay, that's good. We will catch with you. So I got an mail after interview too,
Mm-hmm.
like please wait for 10 to 15 days for any justification or any judgment from our end. And I, in that same mail, I sent a reply mail. Thank you for your interview and that all. I gave that. So I'm just waiting for their final call. I don't know when it will be,
No, no,
but
definitely. You are selected. Don't worry about that.
no, even if I'm not selected, that's not an issue because from second round itself, I have dropped that idea. Means I was out in that phase too. That I'm out. Let's find something new, or let's prepare ourselves. We are not at that level that this company will hire me. Let's make ourselves to that level. Then we will go
Mm.
back again.
Okay.
So I started learning that time too, but I don't know how I got third interview call.
Right, right. No issues, no issues. So this is very good. So anything else you would like to share on your screen?
Anything else? If you say, I need to add one point particularly,
Mm-hmm.
that whatever you write in your resume, please be sure with that. Whatever you write,
Mm-hmm.
because I saw that in this round they have asked me some basics about whatever, but in the third round they have asked me the higher level of what I have written. So I
Mm-hmm.
have written pandas there. So they asked me questions from pandas, and they are not like basic pandas. They asked me some pandas questions they are using in data operators,
Mm-hmm.
because I am working as the data operator. So manipulation operators, they ask me that questions. Like if this is a, they ask me situations too. Like if this situation comes, how you will handle that. So I came to know that everything, whatever you write in resume, that should be thorough and you should be having good grip in that. So that
Right,
point
right.
is much needed
Mm-hmm.
because in this SQL, I was not much used to SQL because we have some 2 to 3 predefined scripts. We are just using them and directly we are getting the data.
Okay.
But they asked me in depth SQL questions too. So I knew something about the SQL, so that was fine with me. So that's the point I would need to say. Like, and yeah, one more thing. Whenever you, if you think like, yeah, okay, I'm going to reject it, just ask the interviewer. So, sir, I am doing such of some of the things I have done in this. Please give me 2 minutes. I will show you,
Mm.
and then you can show whatever you have done, like this one title. I means you can show them like I have been practicing something new, and this is
Correct.
all stuff.
Correct. Absolutely.
So for this explicit way, I showed them. They asked me this question: what is EC? Why you have used as EC? So I
Mm-hmm.
give them justification like why it was used because it gives an alias, just a name. So we can directly use it. No need to write accepted underscore condition every time. You can just use EC for it every time. Then they
Mm-hmm.
ask me why you are using this path. Why can't you directly run driver.chrome and run? So I told my driver is at that location and the Selenium won't know which location it should go and run the particular web driver script. Then they told, okay. Then what they asked me why you are using by dot because when we see, if we write that ec dot, see here directly it is coming. Uh, find element, find element by ID we do, right? So it's saying why you are using by here. You can directly, if I have an example, I'll show you that too.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
see,
right.
find element by ID. So why you are not using this one? Why you use uh, find element, and
Mm.
then I was using by equal to by. Why you are using this? So I told that the Python is more. Whenever we run this above part, it gives us a warning, like it is not. It gives a uh, vulnerability, something. It comes
Mm-hmm.
to that.
Correct, correct.
So that's the reason Python has bring back this by.xpath. So it won't affect any of the address. It will directly work on that. So they told, okay, that's the point. Then they asked me about when I showed this slide. They asked me about implicit weight and explicit weight. I told that too. Part. So that's the point. Like whenever if you're seeing like okay, I'm out. You see there no doors are open. Just try
Mm.
to open door from yourself. Just say I have done something. I want to show you.
Correct, correct.
In that because if you have done everything this one in hands on, so you know what I have done and why what I have not done, why I did that. So
Mm-hmm.
they will ask question from this only then, and you are thorough with that, so you can go on with that.
Right, right. Okay, great, great. So thank you so much, Mayank, for sharing your success story with us, right? I'm sure that this will definitely boost a lot of people's confidence, right? Especially people who are looking for a job out there, right? So this will definitely help them,
Sure.
right? So anything else you
I
would like
hope
to
it will
share?
help because
Yeah.
yeah, I hope it will help because it helped me also because I have seen most of the interviews taken by from your end to
Mm-hmm.
students. From that only I came to know like these are the questions I need to prepare. Then
Mm-hmm.
these are some basic things. It should be clear anytime whenever I do. So thanks to you too, sir.
No, no,
It
it's
helped me a lot.
absolutely your efforts, all the results of your hard work only. And thank you so much for coming on our channel and sharing the success story. Please keep sharing these success stories. Also, share interview questions with us. You can share this file also with me and other interviews questions also with us whenever you get convenient time.
Sure, sir. I will do that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. And all the
Thank
best
you,
for
sir.
your career.
Yeah, thank you, sir.